shame in talking about the quality of your bathroom breaks.
I think there is. I'm going to disagree with you.
All righty. So when last we left, we're about to roll into a combat. And nothing has changed in that regard. 1 second. So the way it works is normally if everybody's face-to-face or we have some sort of virtual tabletop, we would all draw cards. I assure you, I'm not playing any kind of funny business because for the most part, it's initiative with this kind of stuff, unless, say, Tyler's character, Hector, wants to, do his thing, which we'll get to whenever we jump that hurdle. A few things, like I said, I'll draw everybody's cards. It's pretty much like highest to lowest, high. You want higher cards. There are the jokers in this, though. And if anybody happens to draw a joker, or in this case, I draw a joker for you, everybody on the team gets an extra Benny.
Okay.
So it's not going to happen often, but the chances of it happening are not zero. If I draw a Benny, here's the other thing. The DM has his own stack of bennies. Same as it's equal to however many players we got. So if somebody can't show up, I only start off with 2. If we end up getting a new person, I get 4 at that point. But if I draw a joker for any of my characters, I get an extra Benny as well. You guys don't. So who wants to draw? Well, basically, in order to randomize it a little bit, like I've shuffled this while you guys were talking and everything. Who wants to draw first?
I'll draw.
I guess I'd go ahead, Hector.
Okay, Hector, you have a queen of stabs.
Stabs, you said.
Who's going to go next?
After you.
Oh, okay. All right. Sure. I guess me.
You got an ace of clovers.
Oh, all right.
Is ace high card or low?
Dealer's choice, in all honesty. So you're usually going to go first, but it's dealer's choice in this one. There might be an instance where you want to be at the bottom. And Samuel, what does Wyatt want to go to? Well, he gets a 7 of boxes.
7 of boxes.
Yes.
You're literally gonna fill the comments section with people. Get used to it, people. This is what he does.
Just face laughing.
Literally, this is the troll that he is.
And I am not going to draw individually for each of my people. Just, I'm just going to, this is the first one. I don't want to overcomplicate it. They get a 7. This is a 7. He's
really just going into it.
I'm having a seizure, fellows.
The 7 of balloons.
Okay. Pretty much how combat works is you guys have played a Dungeon Dragon. You guys have played another game, I'm sure. It's basically the same thing. Top of the deck, I guess, is going to be Abby. What? Or Addie. A-D-D-Y. Again, I'm having a stroke over here.
Honey. Stop.
Adelaide. What you going to do? I will say, in terms of the one last thing. Firing into like a combat, like let's say Wyatt just immediately starts rushing. Firing into a combat, you do that at a disadvantage. But at the moment, any one of your guns, I'm going to be generous. Something to keep in mind for next time. I'm going to say you guys went into the woods with your weapons ready. But for the future, unless you have the quick draw ability, you're going to have to take a turn to unholster your weapon. But we'll say, just for the sake of argument, everybody went in with their weapons drawn this time.
Okay.
So which weapon are you going in with, Addie?
Probably going to use the rifle, the 76.
Okay.
So, and I saw all this, that these are both yucky dead men.
Yes.
Okay.
Yuckiest.
Then let me try to take a shot at, I guess whichever one is furthest away from the man who's shouting. And
okay, the one who's the one furthest away from the guy on the stagecoach.
Mm-hmm.
We won't say there's any pluses or minuses for distance at that. So yeah, it should just be a fairly straight roll.
I have damage, but I don't know, how do I roll to hit or?
Where's my character sheet? You're going to roll your shooting against their toughness, which I have their toughness. I'll do the old school D&D thing.
Okay.
If you hit it, I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. So my shooting is D6. I'm going to do the 6 and then my wild card 6 or whatever, right? Okay.
Yes.
I got a 4 and a 2.
Okay. Cool. So here's the thing. You missed them.
Okay.
The shot manages to go over. You can either let it lay right there, or you can spend a Benny. Again, you don't need to necessarily be super frugal with these kinds of things. They're going to refresh literally every single time you play, even if like the situation hasn't changed, and I'll award them if you do well. Okay. So basically, if you want to reroll, that, you're welcome to. But it's going to cost you.
Let me try one of these guys then. Yeah, let me.
Okay.
Burn it down, I guess. Woo! All right.
Throw that lever.
Let's see. Oh, I got a 6.
The hammer.
There we go.
Okay,
so I roll, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
2.
Okay, 6, 7, 8. So their toughness is 5.
Okay.
So you hit it, and how's it? Okay, you did not do a crit, but that's perfectly fine. Hold on just a second. You match their toughness. Okay, yeah, they do manage to go down though.
Okay. All right.
Actually, hold on a second. They do not go down. Not yet anyway. Right now they are what's known as shaken. Pretty much like he's just kind of, boogered out. You've kind of caught him off guard with that.
I'm just wondering, so like the damage on my sheet, it says it's 2d8, so
okay,
is that something I need to roll for?
Yes, this is what happens when we're all learning at the same time. Okay, yeah, for damage, now you roll those separately. I apologize.
Okay. No, you're good, you're fine. Okay, so got a 5 and then a 7. So 12.
A 5 and a 7. Okay, okay. A 5 and a 7?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I rolled the d8 twice.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just a big dumb. Okay, cool. You managed to clear his toughness. You don't manage to do any extra damage, but he is shaken.
Okay.
Basically, he's just like, kind of, bleh. He's not dead yet, but he is going to be shaken.
Okay.
All right. Next on the chopping block is going to be the Walking Dead. One of them is going to shamble up to, we will say, Wyatt. They're going to shamble up to you, brandishing their hatchet. Not quite a tomahawk. This isn't really a throwing thing. And he is going to roll a d6 against your toughness. So basically what that is he's going to roll a d6. He's going to get a 3. What is your toughness?
That'd be a 5.
Woo.
Well, I was reading the wrong thing. I was supposed to read your parry. But in any case, it didn't hit. He got a 3. So he swings and he misses. Next is going to be Hector. You are next.
All right. Am I able to specify which one I'm shooting at? Like, I'd like to target the one that's already shaken.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that's the one that's closest to the stagecoach at the moment.
I'm shooting with my Colt Frontier revolver. My shooting is at D8, so D8 with the D6. 4 and a 3.
A 4 and a 3. Unfortunately, their parry is 8. They're very hard to hit. Their parry is a 5. You can spend a Benny if you want to re-roll.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So 8. Okay, a 3 and a 5.
A 5 hits it, so that counts. Now you roll the damage.
All right. For the revolver, it's 2d6 plus 1. A 5 and a 4 plus the 1.
A 5 and a 4 plus the 1. Okay, if that's the case, yeah, that hits it. Their toughness is 5. That hits it. Basically, you manage to shoot it, and you fire off. We'll say just the single shot. You manage to clip it, and it just kind of just crumbles to the ground. Doesn't really do anything after that. It's not getting up. Wyatt, you're up.
All right. How close is the guy closest to me that was trying? I guess he's like right on top of me, right? They're trying to hit me.
Yeah, he's pretty much right on top of you.
Okay.
A shotgun, I'm going to say, if you're firing at the hip, I'm going to say you're not going to suffer any kind of real penalties on that one. It's designed for that.
Right. Push against your hip and pull the trigger. All right. So again, just so I understand how to hit. So the damage is 1d. For this would be 1d6. So do I roll that to see if I hit and then damage is overflow?
You roll to hit by rolling shooting.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. Which I don't have. I don't have a what you call it, a specialization in it.
That's fine. Now, honestly, that's a good way to blend into some other rules. If you don't have a thing, you can still attempt it, but you roll a d4, just a single d4, and you do it at a -2.
Okay.
Now, because your shotgun is all up in his grill and it's a shotgun, shotguns actually get a +2 to hit. It's very easy to hit something with a shotgun. Now, again, yeah, you gotta roll. You roll a d4 and a d6 at the same time, but you got to get a 4 or better on either one of those.
Okay.
Do it.
All right. So.
Hashtag blessed.
Yeah, my D4 was a 4.
Okay, so here's the other thing. That crits, so you get to roll again and add whatever that you see on that as well.
Okay, so it's another D4, correct? Floating
dice.
Yes. Okay, that's just a 1, so 5.
Okay, so it hits, it clears. You had to roll a 5 or better, so you barely got it. Jeez. Now you roll the damage.
The damage. Okay, so the a 1d6 because I'm within range, right?
Yeah. Let me look real quick. I got your character sheet here.
Yeah, I'm curious of how does his shotgun do less damage than my revolver?
Well, you see,
is it just because it's a widespread?
Well, here's the thing.
It's 3d6. Yeah.
You're
about to say that.
Yeah, here's how your shotguns work. Your shotguns do less damage the further away you are. Since you're all at your max effective range, which is like 20 feet away, you're only going to roll a single d6. But since you are right up in his grill, you're rolling 3d6.
Okay, that makes a little more.
Well, I had it written in a way that was confusing myself because obviously that makes logical sense. But I had it written where I was like, yeah, it just wasn't good.
That's fine. When I was going through your character sheet, I saw that and I was like, I'm pretty sure shotguns do more damage. I was like, okay, there it is. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I wrote it in a weird way. I wrote 1 through 3d6, and so that even confused myself. So, okay.
It happens.
All right, so that is going to be do I roll my special dice with that as well?
Yeah, that you do not. That is the one instance where you don't, because it's just straight damage. Where the fuck can I put that?
Okay, so I got 2 1s. No, sorry, 2 2s, and I got 1 6. So 6 explodes.
7, yes.
2s do a crit fail. Okay.
Yeah, just do all that and do all the math, and I will figure that out once you do that.
Okay. 14 total.
Woo.
So
sounds about right.
Yeah, you aced that and then some. So here it's dead. You basically just blow it in half. The top half crumbles before the bottom half manages to hit the ground. So that's the other thing. This is the kind of game where most of the characters are mooks. They're going to take basically 2 hits. They're going to take a shaken hit and an actual wound, and then they're dead. Not every character is like that. If it's a named character, they have just as many wounds as you do, sometimes more. Now, the way it works with characters is you can get shaken. That's your first thing. You're kind of scuffed up, but you're still kind of standing. And then you can take 3 wounds, and every single wound you take, you get a little negative on your stats because you're hurt. But yeah, that's a real quick, easy way of doing a combat. I'm going to say, since you all are such good learners, each and every single one of you, all 3 of you, get an extra. Get your Benny back if you spent them. And which means Wyatt, you got 4. Hector's got 3. Eddie's got 3 as well.
All right.
Shouldn't I have 3 because I used 1 to reroll?
Yes.
So it should be 3, shouldn't it? Or
yes, I'm a dummy. I meant to say Eddie and Hector have 3. Wyatt has 4.
Okay.
I'm a big, dumb, stupid head.
Did it?
No.
Goodness.
All right. So, all right. What does everybody want to do?
Let's look at these guys carefully.
How do you like the West, Daddy?
Not thrilled about it, to be honest. Not feeling it. Ugh. All right, let's go and poke them with the butt of the gun or something. I don't know. I don't want to touch these yucky men.
I'm kind of weirdly enough kind of unfazed by these things. I'm wanting to address the gentleman that's on top of the stagecoach.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. Eddie, you immediately go to poking and prodding the corpses because you were all business without realizing that police have to talk to people sometimes.
My curiosity is getting the better of me.
Yeah, honestly, I like that. I like this.
What the fuck is this?
All right. So who wants to talk and what do you want to say?
Got my gun was like, partner, it's all right. Is there anyone else here besides you?
And he said, at this point he's kind of turned around and started trying to stomp out, put out the fire. He's thrown you see that he's taken off a really kind of ratty coat. This doesn't look like a man who often dresses for business. He's kind of throwing it on the fire, trying to pat it out. And he turns around at the sound of your voice, and he's just, his face is just sweaty. He's, panic stricken. He goes, they're dead. They're dead, just like her.
Like who?
At that point, you hear something slam against the interior of his station wagon. Station wagon.
He's got the wood paneling and everything.
Well, apparently
that old Buick, that beautiful old Buick.
And the Griswolds are on the way to Wally Whirl in Colorado. Oh, God damn it.
Don't simmer down back there. We're going to pull over the goddamn car.
Yeah. In the back of his station wagon, his kids are arguing. No, in the back of his covered wagon. The moment I said it, I was like, shit.
You're having a stroke over there.
This is a Conestoga wagon, correct?
Wood panel siding, right? It's a Woody.
Yeah, wood panel. It's making a little bit of a rattling noise. He needs to get that checked on. But no, you hear something slam against the interior of his covered wagon.
Burn it. We need to burn it right now. I'm serious. So I'm going to start grabbing something and try to alight the rest of the covered wagon.
At which point the gentleman at the top above it says, "Sir, you can't. I know she's dead, but she's my wife. She's all I got left."
She's not your wife anymore, sir. I'm so sorry. The best grace that she can get is in the arms of our Lord, and that's it. And I'm going to try to, coax him down to try to light this thing on fire.
Roll. Well, let's see. Your choice between. let's see. We will go with since you. No, we won't go with that. We'll say intimidation, performance.
I got persuasion pretty high, and I also got my power of empathy as well. So to try to get him off the light, because I obviously don't want to light it on fire with him on it. I'd want him off. So if I can roll.
Empathy. How's that work? What does it say?
So essentially, let me look at my notebook.
That's fine. I'll look it up in the book as well.
So, arcane versus spirit roll. Knows target's emotional state and basic surface level thoughts. +1 just in general, +2 for crit, and just +1 or +2 to intimidate, persuasion, performance, or taunt. Essentially is what it is. It just gives me +1 or +2 if I crit.
Okay, I'll say this is I'll say you can basically do this as a multi-action free of charge. Go ahead and cast empathy though.
Okay.
And how does this look as you're casting this? Because obviously, yeah. How exactly do you activate this?
And what's, I guess, was it trappings? Is kind of the label for it.
So I snap and I look at him, and as soon as I snap, his eyes like lock with mine, and it's just like a moment, like a very pregnant pause of him just staring in my eyes, unbroken. And to him, it seems like there's nothing going on except just my eyes. That's all I see is just me.
Just an intense stare. Honestly, I like that.
Yeah.
Something that, if they're looking for it, they might be able to see, there's some kind of hoodoo going on, but okay, I like that.
Yeah, okay. Maybe Hector can see the light bending around or something, but it's the stare of a grizzled, salt and peppered, man.
Okay.
So it'd be persuasion with 10 +2, so 2 plus.
Hold on a second. You still got to. Yeah, you still got to make a spell cast though, which is fine. Basically, you got to roll your. I think with yours, it's either smarts or spirit. I think it's spirit.
Yeah, my spirit is at a 10 because I'm then matched, so my spirit's at 10. So I roll a D10.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much just roll that. It doesn't look like it's a contested roll. You don't gotta, just roll that and aim for 4 or better. And remember, you also like any kind of like your edge rolls or anything like that, because it is a spirit roll. I think you get a boon with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that would be true believer. Yeah.
Yeah, and just remember, you also get to roll that extra D6 as well. And then just let me know what you get.
Okay, yeah. So true believers, I can re-roll anything, but I got a 10 on my first. My 10 was a 10, so I'm gonna re-roll that one. That was a 9, so we're at 19 plus the 6 roll.
Okay, so you get a +2 on your persuasion if you'd like. So yeah.
And then roll a D6. That's D8. Okay, that'd be a 7 total with the +2.
Yeah, that does it, and then some. So yeah, he's you see him after you say that, he kind of calms down. He hears you out. You notice that, I mean, he's panicking, but there's a hint of sadness here. I'll give this to you for free because you're being empathetic. Like you can tell there's love for his wife that's inside his carriage. But he comes down, he's like, you know what, you're right. She's gone and there ain't no change in that. And he comes down and the carriage is still kind of smoldering a little bit at the top, but it's free to torch if you want. And she is slamming against the interior and just growling nonsense.
Preacher, put that torch down.
When what we're not?
Put it down.
Sorry? I'm sorry.
We have not even had a chance to get this gentleman's name, ask him where he's from, and I don't know if you're operating on your will or your God's right now, but I want to get a little bit more information before you start pilgrimaging your way through this torch. Before we get any, idea of what's going on right now.
Well, you might be a little wet behind the ears, some. I know exactly what's going on. There's a sinful, evil thing, and the sinful, evil thing needs to die without question, and that is what I intend.
Am I hearing any of this?
Actually,
Marshall, do you want to maybe use that big, expensive piece of metal on your chest and actually try to bring some order to what's going on right now?
Actually, I was about to say, if you were like, what was Addie? Were you listening to this, or were you like engrossed in the corpses?
Once I feel like once they start like raising their voices at one another, like I would probably be snapped out of like being just weirdly fascinated at whatever I'm seeing here. So, so yeah, let me get in there and.
Aren't you out here to investigate?
I don't know if it's a good idea to start putting a torch to somebody we haven't even seen. And just because some layman said his wife was dead doesn't necessarily mean that she was for sure dead. So let's at least see what's happening before we start.
At which point,
what's one more soul at the pearly gates, huh, preacher?
At which point the gentleman he looks down at Addie's chest, but not in the creepy way. But he sees your badge, your marshal star. And
now I'm gonna have to get like a little plastic star, aren't I?
But well, yeah, you're going to have to get a lapel now. Okay. But he says, "Ma'am, you're the one in charge."
Yes, sir.
He said, "Oh, thank the Lord above. You got to help us. There's a witch. There's a witch, and she done got my little girl kidnapped."
Okay, we're gonna deal with that. But I do want to figure out what's going on here. So, can I have you hold that thought while we investigate this situation?
Yeah, he reaches that into his back pocket and pulls out a nasty, grimy old handkerchief and starts like dabbing his forehead. Okay. And he's like, "Yeah, I can calm down.
Look at me, sir. It's gonna be okay.
I'll go over here and just kind of breathe. It's been a rough day, ma'am."
Keep breathing, and we're gonna take care of this, and then we'll go see what we can do for you. Okay, sir?
It's like, okay, yeah.
Thank you. All right, so let's, as quietly as possible, try to investigate this before we start burning shit down.
Y'all open it up, and I know what's in there. I don't have to investigate. I'm just gonna stand back because y'all want to get yourself all bit up. That's fine by me.
Sorry, I don't have your face, but I don't. So let's take a gander.
All right. So how's this going to work? How's this door going to be opened?
So what? Well, I was about to say. So I mean, how is the wagon? I mean, is it like a regular construct where there's just a piece of canvas covering the back, or like
a little door, or what do we got?
Oh, this is pretty much like, yeah. I mean, there's like, the back. It's the little kind of thing. You look kind of in the back though, and you see like, we'll say Addie this. I'll give this to y'all for free. You see a woman. She doesn't look like, like freshly dead or anything, but like her cheeks are sunken in and her eyes are, that same kind of glazed over kind of look. And she's literally like, she's chained down, but she's literally like with as much as she can, she's basically just wrapped in a chain that's, strapped. She's just throwing herself unnaturally hard up against like the wood.
I mean, I feel like I do need to try to like talk her down, right? Just maybe there's something I don't understand. So, ma'am, can you calm down, please? She's
just growling and snarling and snapping.
Why laugh in the background?
Yeah, occasionally.
All right, laugh it up here, bud. I just need to take a look here before I start putting people down.
Yeah, like occasionally she'll just curse, "I'll kill you, Alistair." She keeps saying that.
Is that your name, sir?
He goes, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alistair, whatever my last name is. Smith." That's what it was.
Where are you heading from, Mr. Smith?
I'm coming down from Hoot's Holler. It's gotten real bad, sir.
What's happening?
He looks at Addie and goes, "Are you the lawman they were supposed to send?"
Yes, sir. That's what this means. So yeah. we're going to do our best. We didn't get a whole lot of information, but we're going to figure out what's going on here. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened to your wife that you knew she was dead?
1 second. He says, I don't really know what to say. My little girl got kidnapped. She went missing, and I got to the mayor's office as fast as I could. And he wouldn't hear me, but like I sent out. I kind of figured out how to work something. It took me forever to type the little thing out, but I typed it out and I sent it. I was wondering if you guys were ever going to show up, but I just couldn't wait anymore. And then my little girl, she went missing, and we got out But then Emily, she ended up getting shot on the way, and then she woke up on the way out and she started attacking me. So I had to pin her down, and I had to wrap her with a chain. And it's been a lot the past couple of days.
Who shot your wife?
It's I don't know. I thought the witch did.
Was this you're going down the road in your house? Like, where was she shot?
She was shot just as we were leaving. She's just the back of her. I just heard a crack, and then she fell forward. And I mean, I got out as fast as I could. I know what a gunshot is, but I guess the witch might have done it. But when we got out, I checked on her, and she was dead, but she wasn't dead by morning. She wasn't dead at all.
How old is your daughter?
She's 16. She's the sweetest girl, and I don't even know what to do. But I couldn't find her, and I had to go out and find some kind of help. It was getting so bad.
Okay, we'll see if we can track her down.
Marshall, have you gotten any reports of other teenage women missing from this area?
GM, have I gotten any other reports?
Roll.
Okay, what am I rolling?
That's what I'm wondering. I don't know. I repair. Well, you can roll. We'll say that's a fairly kind of, even though it's not really the area of it. We'll say you could roll common knowledge, or if you want, you could roll to lie.
I'm going to try common knowledge. I'm not good at lying, remember.
They don't know that. You maybe don't know that.
I feel like, if you get to your mid-20s, if you don't know yourself well enough to know that you're not good at lying, that's not a great place to be at. We're going to say that, yeah, she's at least self-aware enough to know. Okay, I'm going to do common knowledge, which is a D6 for me. And I got a 6 on one of them. So
Blow it up,
that's a
baby.
5 after.
Okay.
So I got 11 total here.
Yeah, you don't recall any instances of anything within the Hoot's Hall or the area of Hoot's Holler of women disappearing or anything like that. You did hear of something a little bit closer to actual we'll say Steamboat Springs. Somewhere around there was a spree of teenage girls disappearing and later being found with their hands cut off. You don't know if that's related. How far out is
Steamboat Springs versus here?
We'll say Steamboat Springs is about 4 days of a hard drive.
Okay, all right.
Steamboat Springs was that's about that age. Yeah, we'll say that. But you don't know if that's related though. And that case is about a year or so old.
Okay, so I'll convey this to Hector that this is what I've heard, and
but we'll go hit up some good bars at Steamboat Springs after this.
Bunch of girls with no hands. But yeah, this is really the only thing I've heard about Hoot Holler, right? I got the telegram, the wonky telegram.
Yeah, this is this is a little nowhere place. Honestly, your offices had to look it up to see if it was even a real place, because that's such a ridiculous name. I'm very proud of that name.
It's a good one. Yeah, so this is it seems like it's kind of novel. So I'm not not really sure what it is we're dealing with here. And the telegram was not intensely explicit about what was happening. So this is what we know now.
A second. Will they find out what they know now? Find out next time, because the DM lost track of time.